Hello guys, welcome to a new video. And in this video we are going to be configuring a site-to-site IPsec VPN between two routers. So let's go ahead and start this IPsec site-to-site. And this one is going to be done using Ike Version One for tonight. For tomorrow, I'm going to be doing one, but it's going to be with Ike Version 2. So you can see the different configuration. But like I said, for today, this one is going to be only for Ike version 1. So let's go ahead and say router 1 over here. This one is going to be R2. So you guys are going to see the entire configuration of this and how I set it up. And let's go ahead and do add a link, gigabit 00 to gigabit 00. That's good. Let's go ahead and add um, this IP address is going to be 20.1.1.1, and we are going to duplicate, and we are going to do this for this router 2. It's going to be 20.1.1.2, and we're going to duplicate it again, and we are going to have a look back. So we can say the look back for this one. It's going to be, let's say 10, or let's just say 20.20.20.20. And the look back for router 1 is going to be 10.10.10.10. And I'm doing a loop back is because I want to mimic a network. So that's why I'm doing that. Well, actually, what we could do, if we don't want to, I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's see if let's just leave it as, should we just leave it as loop back or should we just add, let's just add a couple of, um, not routers. Let's just go to all of them and let's just add some ASDM right here and right here, so I don't get you confused with the with lookbacks. Even though this is for the CCNP security certification, for the SIMOS certification, CCNP, this one is going to be 192.168.1.1 or that 1.2. Um, the router is going to be that 1.1. Let's go ahead and duplicate it right here. This one is going to be 172.16.1.2, and this one's going to be 172.16.1.1. There we go. So let's go ahead and start with this like this, um, which is going to make a lot more sense, right? Uh, let's go ahead and add a link, gigabit 01, gigabit 01. There we go. So that looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and move this so we can have more space for our configuration. I just want to go ahead and move it down here. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and start router 1. Actually, let's just move this closer so I can have more space for my, let's go ahead and add the interfaces so you can see it, the labels. There we go. Let's go ahead and run um, this one as well. Okay, so we have router 1 and router 2. Let's go ahead and start configure them. Let's go ahead and do config T. Let's give it a host name. And sorry for all the typos. I don't have the keyboard that I use all the time, so my typing is going to be a little bit slower. And let's go ahead and do an interface gigabit 00. Like I said, I'm going to have more typos than ever because I don't have my keyboard today. The IP address for this one, router 1, gigabit 00, 20.1.1.1, slash 24, so 255.255.255.0. Let's just do a no shutdown. And then let's go ahead and go to interface gigabit 01, and the IP address for this one is going to be 172.16.1.1 slash 24. Dot 0. I just go ahead and do no shutdown. Good. So now let's go ahead and configure the IP address for the ASDM, or for this is like a server that I have right here. So let's go ahead and go to the terminal. And in the terminal, you need to do ifconfig because this is a Linux device. And we're going to do, for this interface, it's going to be 172.16.1.2. Netmask is going to be slash 24. And then we need to do a route to add the default gateway. Route add default gateway is going to be 172.16.1.1. Now we should be able to ping 172.16.1.1. There we go. So we are able to ping router 1. That's good. Let's go ahead and close this, and let's go ahead to router 2 and configure router 2 interfaces. Config T. Let's give it a host name first. It's going to be R2. Let's configure interface gigabit 0/0. IP address of 20.1.1.2, 255.255.255.0 slash 24, right? Now shut down. Now I should be able to ping 20.1.1.1, which is router 1. There we go. I'm able to ping it. The first one is because of the ARP resolution. That's why it fails. Now let's go ahead and do gigabit 0/1. Let's go ahead and do IP address 192.168.1.1. Oops, not 268. 168.1.1 slash 24. Let's do a no shutdown. Okay, so we won't be able to ping it because we had to configure the IP address for this other server right here. So let's go ahead and do that. ifconfig interface 0. It's going to have an IP address of 192.168.1.2. The net mask is going to be slash 24. Now let's do route add default gateway, and it's going to be 192.168.1.1. Now we should be able to ping 192.168.1.1. There we go. I'm able to ping router 2, so that's good. So the configuration it's done right here. So now let's now go ahead and configure IPsec site-to-site configuration with Ike Version One. And the first thing that you want to configure, or you could do it either way. You can either start with phase 2 of Ike Version One, or you can even start with Ike, or you can start with phase 1 or phase 2. I'm going to start with phase 1. And the way that you do that, you want to do a crypto, and it's going to be ISAKMP policy 1, and you want to do an encryption. The encryption needs to match um, on both routers. So for this one, it's going to be 3 des. The authentication is going to be pre-share key. The hashing is going to be MD5 and the group number needs to be 2. So all of this needs to match. If it doesn't match, it is not going to work, guys. Okay, so remember that. So that is done, and then we need to go ahead and configure for Ike version 1 phase 1 crypto ISAKMP, and this one is going to be the key, and the key is going to be CCMP security, and the address you need to match. You need to put the IP address of where it is going. So it is going to router 2. So we need to put the IP address of router 2 right here, 20.1.1.2. There we go. That's done. So we are done with Ike version 1 phase 1. Now we are going to configure Ike version 1 phase 2, which involves a transform set, and also we need to configure the IPsec profile. So let's go ahead and do that, guys. Let's see if I remember. Oh, actually, not a IPsec version 1. You need to do a crypto map. So you need to do a transform set and a crypto map. So IPsec transform set, and we are going to name this T set, and it needs to have an ESP, and this is for data confidentiality. So we are going to encrypt it using AES 256, and then we are going to provide data integrity with ESP SHA and also with HMAC. And the mode is going to be tunnel. Done. So now we need to do exit, and we have to do a crypto. Let's see if I remember crypto map, and we need to name the map, and we are going to say crypto map, and we need to do a sequence number, which is going to be 1, and then we need to do the IPsec ISAKMP. Enter. So as you can see right here from here, this is a new crypto map. Will remain disabled until appear and a valid access list has been configured. So we have not configured the access list. So let's go ahead and configure the access list first. Access list 100, which means that we're going to use the first extended access list. Okay, and we want to permit an IP address coming from the source. So the source from router 1 is going to be 172.16.1.0, which is this network right here. 172.16.1.0, and it's going to be a wildcard mask. Always remember that, because otherwise it's going to, if you put a subnet mask, it's not going to be correct. It needs to be a wildcard mask. And then it's going to go to a destination of 192.168.1.0 wildcard mask. Um, oops, 0.0.0.255. Done. Now let's go ahead and go back to that crypto map. And from here, we need to set, and we need to set the peer. We need to add the peer IP address, which is 20.1.1.2, the IP address of router 2. Enter. And then we need to set the transform set, which we call T set. All right. And then we need to match, and we need to match the address of the ACO that we added, which is 100. Okay, so that is almost done. Now we need to add that crypto map to the interface. So we need to go to interface gigabyte 00, and we need to do crypto map, and we need to add that map. Let's see, what was the name of that map that I created? It was called crypto map. There we go. So we just add it right here, and that's going to turn on the ISAKMP. As you can see, ISAKMP was off. Now it is on. All right. So if you want to go ahead and end it and save your configuration, that's good. Now let's go ahead and do the same on router 2. All right. So let's go ahead and exit. And like we did before, the first thing that we configured was Ike version 1 first one. So let's go ahead and configure that. We set crypto ISAKMP policy 1, and remember it needs to match. Okay, so if you do a, let's see if we do a show crypto, can we say a crypto map? And for the crypto map, um, it doesn't really show it right here. Let's see. The crypto map. Nah, let's just do a show. Can we do a show crypto ISAKMP and ISAKMP policy? So this router one, it needs to match with router two. So in router two, we need to set the encryption to des or triple des, so three des. The hashing algorithm needs to be ND5. The authentication needs to be pre-shared key, and the default helmet group needs to be number two. So let's go ahead and do that. Encryption was three des. The authentication, pre-shared key, the hashing algorithm, ND5, and the default helmet group number is going to be two. Now we do exit, and now we need to configure that pre-shared key. And if we go over here and do a ISAKMP um, authentication, maybe, nah, it doesn't really, it's not going to show that. What if we do um, section ISAKMP? Doesn't show it. So ISAKMP. Okay, that's fine. Let's just leave it like that. Let's just. I remember the pre-shared key, which is crypto ISAKMP key, and the key was CCMP security, and this one needs to match as well. And the address, it needs to be 20, that one, that one, that one, because it is going to router one. That's where we're going to authenticate. So now we are done with Ike version 1, phase 1. Okay, now we need to configure Ike version 1, phase 2, which involves the transfer set and also involves the crypto map. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So you want to do a crypto. It's IPsec transform set, and this one also needs to match um, with what I configure. I first needs to create a name, transform set, ESP. It was um, AES 256, so this needs to match. And the for data integrity, we did SHA with HMAC, and the mode was Tono. Okay, now we do exit, and we need to, before we create the crypto map, we need to configure the access list. So let's go ahead and do access list 100. I want to permit an IP address coming from the source of 192.168.1.0, 255, and the destination 172.16.1.0. The dot can be first, 255. And if you want to see how it was configured in router 1, you can do show access list 100. And you can see here that I'm permitting the source of 172.16.1.1 and to the destination of 192.168.1.0, which is this one right here. But for this one, I'm doing the opposite. I'm going to permit the source 192.168.1.0 and then to the destination of 172.16.1.0, which is this one right here. Okay. And now we do a crypto map, and from here we need to name the map. We're going to name it just crypto map, and it needs to be a sequence. It's going to be the first one, and then we need to do IPsec with ISAKMP, enter. So now we need to set the peer, which is 20.1.1.1, and we need to set the transform set, which will set to tset, and then we need to do the match address, and we need to add the access list that we created 100. So that is done. Now we need to go into interface gigabit 0/0, and we need to add that crypto map that we just created. Crypto map, and we call this crypto map. And now ISAKMP is going to turn on. As you can see right here, now it is on. So now let's go ahead and try to ping from ASDM2. We're going to ping ASDM1. And before we do that, let's go ahead and bring up um, the routers. And if we do a show crypto ISAKMP SA, you can see that we do not have any right now because we have not sent any traffic. And also, if we do a show crypto, and the show crypto ISAKMP is for um, to verify the configuration of um, Ike version 1 phase 1. And if you want to see the configuration of um, Ike version 1 phase 2, you do a show crypto IPsec SA. And as you can see right here, no packets has been encapsulated or decapsulated because we have not sent any traffic yet, right? And as you can see that the local IP address of the router, the local router for router 2 is 192.168.1.1, and the remote router 172.168.1.0, which is this one over here. The peer is 20.1.1.1, which is correct for router 1. So let's go ahead and you can see that the local endpoint is 20.1.1.2 for router 2. So that is correct. So we can go ahead and verify for router 1. Show crypto ISAKMP SA. There is nothing there because we have not sent any traffic. And if you want to verify Ike version 1 phase 2, you do an IPsec SA. And you can see right here the current peer 20.1.1.2. For this one is 20.1.1.1, so that is correct. The local is the local identity. It is 172.168.1.0. That's good. And then the remote is 192.168.1.0, which is this one. We're using port 500 because we're not using NAT. We're not using any NAT, so we're not NATing, because if you are NATing, you're going to be using port 4500. But since we're not using NAT, we're using port 500. The current peer 20.1.1.2, which is good. We are not encapsulated or decapsulated um, any traffic because we have not sent any traffic. You can see that the local crypto endpoint is 20.1.1.1, which is for router 1 correct, and the remote endpoint is 20.1.1.2, which is for router 2. So that is good as well. So let's go ahead and send traffic from the ASDM. And this one is going to be for ASDM2. All right, so I'm going to have that up as well for router 2. And you're going to see that whenever I send packet, it is going to increase right here. It's going to increment both. So let's go ahead and do from over here. Let's go ahead and do. Actually, I won't be able to ping yet. Or am I going? Yeah, I should be able to ping. Let's go ahead and ping. This is from router. This is from ASDM2. So we need to ping 172.168.1.2. That 172.16, not 168. 172.16.1.2. Destination unreachable. And that is happening because we do not have any route. We don't know how to get there. So we need to tell them how to get there. So we need to go ahead and do a config G and do an IP route. I'm just going to do a default route to 0.0.0.0, and then from router, this is router 1. So from router 1, if you want to get to any destination, I want to send it to 20.1.1.2. So let's go and do that, 20.1.1.2. Good. So let's do the same for router 2, but it is going to have a destination of 20.1.1.1. config T, paste it right here, that one, end it. And like I said, for IPsec, you see that we don't have any packets in router 2, and also in router 1, we're not going to have any packets yet because we have not sent any. So now we're going to send this ping, and there we go. Now we are able to send that ping, and it's going to send one. Let's go ahead and cancel. It sent 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now if we go back to the router and we do a show crypto IPsec SA, you should see that we have encapsulated 7 packets and we have decapsulated 7 packets as well. So it is working correctly. And also if we do a show ISAKMP SA, you can see that the tunnel has been created. It is in idle, it is active, and the destination is 20.1.1.1, and the source is 20.1.1.2. This is for water 1, and if we do it over here, show crypto IPsec SA, you can see it has encapsulator 7 and decapsulator 7, so it is working correctly. And if we go and see that ISAKMP SA, we should see that tunnel created over here, right? So it is good, guys. So this is it for this configuration of that IPsec site-to-site tunnel with Ike version 1. On the next video, I'm going to be configuring um, uh, IPsec site-to-site VPN connection, and it's going to be with Ike version 2, which is a little bit different configuration. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye-bye, and I love you.